Today I'm showing you how to compress vocals. Let's begin. Before we start, don't forget to check our channel for even more videos like this. A like, a share and a subscribe would be very helpful, and if you're a music industry professional looking forward to expand your career, check our brand new platform, thetalentuniverse.com. Now let's get back to our video. We got a video on this channel in which we explain what compression does. Basically, it helps us achieve an overall nice and leveled up volume across the audio track. But actually, at least if you ask me, it's not just that. Think about it. Many types of compressors which have been launched since back in 1937, they're trying to do the same thing, but still they work differently. The result? Many different types of algorithms which are giving the audio tracks different sound. Do you get what I mean? You can put a compressor right there at the border between correction and effects. You can use it in both ways. You can get very creative with it. And there are techniques out there which we will show on this channel, like parallel compression for example, which are used to enhance the vocal in a way that not any other plugin can do. In today's video I'm going to show you one way to compress the vocals. And I'm saying one way because depending on the song that I'm working on, I will compress differently. If it's a rock or maybe a hip-hop song for example, I want the vocals to punch, to hit you in the face basically. For a pop or maybe a jazz song, I don't know, something like that. I want to have full control over the vocals and I want them to sound smooth. So today I'm going to show you a more like a middle approach, something to give you an idea on how compression works and how it can affect the vocals. So let's head to our project. So this is the song that we got. I found the stems on the internet and it's actually perfect because it's quite uneven. As you can see, it's actually quite bad, but nothing that we cannot fix, and it's only for educational purposes, so it's perfect for us. This is the song that we will be working on from now on. I'll show you compression today. I will make another video regarding equalization. I will make videos about stuff like de-essing or maybe delay, and at some point we will make a full vocal chain or maybe a full mix, so stay tuned and subscribe for more. Okay, so let's listen to what we got. Everything just dry, raw, without any effects. Just so you can see what we are dealing with here. Let me mute this.
I could be your man all night. I could put your dreams to the light. I can make this shit take flight. I can run your scheme for a price. I'ma mix the lean with the Sprite. Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zolin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme, talking all this fucking crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to singing Amy Wine. No, we aiming for the head and spine. Zolin down to sabotage, that's my...
So as you can see, it doesn't sound really good, but this is just dry vocals. The only thing that it's mixed here is probably the instrumental. We don't have any gain staging done. We will start to add up things slowly but surely, and we will get to a point where the song will be finished. So yeah, this is actually the best example that we can have because I don't believe it's being recorded in a controlled environment. These are recordings that sound like home studio recording without any sound treatment at all. So this is perfect. It's something that we can work with and we can make it sound very good. But for now we will only stick with compression. As I said, we'll take them slowly but surely. So what I've done here, I took these two channels, the lead vocals, and sent them to a bus. We do that to save resources. Just think about it. If we use 10 plugins on this channel and another 10 on this channel, it will probably happen that we will use the same plugins with the same settings because they are both lead vocals, so we want them to sound the same basically. So instead of using 20 plugins here, we will only use 10 plugins here. So like that, we saved 50% already. Now, think about a normal project. A song of mine, for example, I would have 35 to 40 channels. So instead of having 400 plugins, I'll probably use close to 100 or something like that. So I can actually hit play and listen to what I'm doing. Don't worry, we will make another video and I'll show you how to do it and how to get the best out of it. Getting back to our project, I have applied an EQ on them so I can clean them up a bit, just so we won't hear the low end too much. I will add more EQs on the way, but for now this one will do. And I've also applied a reverb. I've used Reverb from Waves with a reverb time of 1.93 and a pre-delay of 30.2. If you haven't watched our reverb video, I recommend you to go and watch it, because I've used the technique to define these two parameters. And also an EQ applied over it, so I can cut everything up to 700 Hz. I've said it before, I've done it before, and I will always do it. I just don't like this spectrum on my reverbs. And I'll try to reduce it a bit there. An EQ is just enough for my taste. Now let me show you how the vocals sound solo, and you will see that we need quite a lot of compression actually. Let's see.
I could be your man all night. I could put your dreams to the light. I can make this shit take flight. I could run your scheme for a price. I'ma mix the lean with the Sprite. Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme, talking all this fucking crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to sing and Amy Wine. No, we aiming for the head and spine.
So see, we got quite a few picks here, which are quite annoying, actually quite disturbing. When we will compress, we will see them, well, we won't see them, but we will be able to hear that they won't sound as bad as they used to. And I will start with a normal compressor. With a simple compressor, I will actually use the stock one from Studio One. So this is a hip-hop vocal, and if we listen closely...
Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime.
He sings quite fast. So what I want to do, I want to keep a fairly fast attack and a fairly fast release. We can use this automatic and adaptive, but I'm not used with them, so I'll just do it manually. Let's say a release of 52 will do, and maybe an attack of 10. The ratio, I usually, for the first compressor, I usually keep it down to 2/1, 3/1, yeah? And what I will do now, I will put a stupid amount on the threshold, minus 35, something like that. I do that because I want to hear the vocals as squashed as possible. I want to see the compressor working. And what I'll do, so I will listen, and then I will decrease the threshold gradually until I get to a value that fits my needs and a sound that's quite right for the first compressor. So let me show you how the vocals sound squashed, and then we will gradually decrease the threshold, yeah? So
I could be your man all night. I could put your dreams to the light. I can make this shit take flight. I could run your scheme for a price. I'ma mix the lean with the Sprite. Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme, talking all this fucking crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to sing and Amy Wine.
I think it's perfect. So the maximum reduction that we had was around 3 decibels. We can still hear the peaks in the vocals, and do not get me wrong, I don't want to get rid of them completely, but it's clearly not enough. And what I will do now, I will let you listen with the compressor applied, and then I will bypass it at some point so you can hear the difference, yeah? So let's begin.
Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme, talking all this fucking crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to sing and Amy Wine. No, we aiming for the head.
Slight difference. That's what we want, because we will apply more compressors along the way. Now, this was a simple compressor, yeah, so it won't do wonders to our vocals. The next one that I'm going to use, it will be something from Waves, and let's see, what do we have here? Renaissance Sax. This might work, yeah, I like this one. It's quite simple, we only set the attack basically, and this time around I will leave a slower attack, 25, something like that, and watch what it will do the moment I would reduce the threshold.
I'ma mix the lean with the Sprite. Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme.
it will apply makeup gain on itself. So if I want to reduce that, I will need to use the gain knob here.
Crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to sing and Amy Wine. No, we aiming for the head and spine.
Okay, it sounds too compressed, so I will reduce the threshold.
I never lied, I'm the one that they admire, blocking all that. Thought they told you I'm a writer, got it lit, don't need a lighter. Where I'm going, getting higher, I've been tired of.
Sounds quite good to me. We got another reduction of around 2 decibels. Obviously, we still have makeup gain there, and if we need more volume at the end, we will just use one plugin to give it more. Now, let's have a listen with and without the plugins so far, yeah? I will include the instrumental as well, because I believe it's relevant to the discussion. It's good to mix with the instrumental on the background as well. So, I will turn them off and then turn them on back again.
I could be your man all night. I could put your dreams to the light. I can make this shit take flight. I can run your scheme for a price. I'ma mix the lean with the Sprite. Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme, talking all this fucking crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to sing and Amy Wine. No, we aiming for the head and spine. Zalin down to sabotage. Ask my mom, I never lied.
See, those peaks suddenly are not disturbing anymore. They're leveled up with, let's say, the average volume of the audio track, and you can actually listen to them. Okay, so for now I'm quite happy with what we've got. I believe it's leveled up and it sounds nice and good enough. I'm going to add a third compressor, which is going to add a specific sound to the audio track, to the vocals, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to get here and I'm going to add CLA 3A from Waves. I just love this. This is one of my favorite vocal compressor. I discovered it on someone's stream on YouTube who was mixing live a hip-hop song, and he just pops this out and just tweaks a bit the gain and the peak reduction, and suddenly the voice sounds so good and so nice, and the vibe of it is just something different. You'll see what I mean. So I will apply it here and I'll let you listen. It will give such a nice vibe and you'll hear the difference. I'll just let you hear the difference.
I could be your man all night. I could put your dreams to the light. I can make this shit take flight. I can run your scheme for a price. I'ma mix the lean with the Sprite. Just tonight, where's that real shit? I arrived just in time. Zalin touched the mic and it's sublime. These pussies lying when they rhyme, talking all this fucking crime. When they said you do a dime, you got to sing and Amy Wine. No, we aiming for the head and spine.
See, it gives power to the voice, and it's not just because of the gain that we add. We have something like, what, 5 decibels or somewhere around there. It does something similar to what we call parallel compression. It kind of gets the background of the voice, if that makes any sense, and just pumps that out. It gives that punchy vibe, and I just love it. I believe it changes the vocal completely, and it still compresses. As you've seen at peaks, it still reduces somewhere around 2 decibels, and that's fine. So we got a total of like -6 at peaks, and that's fine. That's completely fine because we've added makeup gain and now the lows are closer to the peaks. So now we can carry on with adding different effects. Obviously they will probably suffer tweaks in the future. That's completely normal, but for now that's fine. We can actually listen to it. When we'll do a complete vocal chain, I'll show you how I'm using gain automation to help the compressors. It makes a difference. And instead of reducing 2 decibels with each compressor, you just need to reduce something like 1, maybe 1.5 at the maximum at the peaks. And now let's make a recap, and I'm actually going to give you this cheat sheet. Use it anytime you want. Step number 1, apply a simple compressor, maybe even a stock compressor. Yeah, so apply a stock compressor, use a 3:1 ratio, and depending on the speed of the voice, if that makes sense, adjust the attack and the release. Just think about it like that. The faster you sing or talk or whatever, the faster the compressor needs to be. You want it to catch every single word. So you want a fast attack, so every single time when you pronounce a word, you want the compressor to catch it. And you want a fast release because you don't want the compressor to go on forever from the first word. So you want word 1, catch, release. Word 2, catch, release. Word 3, catch, release, and so on and so forth. If it's something maybe, as I said, like a jazz or a pop or songs like this, or even a chorus, depending on how you sing it, you can use a slower attack and a slower release. At the same time, don't exaggerate and don't make it too fast. You want the compressor to engage rapidly enough. Just don't exaggerate. Find the sweet spot. Use your ears, close your eyes, and just listen while modifying those parameters, and you'll be fine. Step number 2, apply another compressor. It can be any of your choice. It can even be another stock compressor. Doesn't really matter. That's the one that you will use to complete the adjustment, to get everything to a certain level. So after that, you'll have the desired level of your audio. Don't worry if the peaks are still getting in front of everything. As long as the difference between them and the lows is not noticeable, you are good to go. You are good to go to the next step. Again, fine-tuning. Close your eyes and just listen. Use your ears in order to not apply too much compression. Keep that in mind. Don't apply too much compression. Very important. As simple as that. You don't need to squash everything. And this is the point where you can start to add makeup gain, so the voice won't be too low in the grand scheme of things. I wouldn't really recommend you to do that in the first step, even though nobody says no. But I believe that at that point, you need to focus on reducing. Yeah, just get those peaks lower. And third step, or the third compressor, is something to add a specific sound to your track. Try different compressors, different algorithms. Just look on the internet, watch YouTube videos, and just see what fits your song, your needs. There's a lot of free stuff out there, which is very good. Watch our free plugins video, by the way. And yeah, just experiment, because at some point you will find like your way to do things. Yeah, you will find your favorite plugins, you will find your favorite techniques. I guarantee that you will enjoy everything. And this marks the end of our video. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. Don't forget that a like, a share, and a subscribe are very helpful and very appreciated. And until the next time, take care of yourself and Merry Christmas.